Like many, I grew up with the original Indigo League anime. Actually, that's a lie. I was an Orange Island head. Orange Islanders, rise up. But there are still many iconic episodes from the original anime that I could probably recite beat for beat, and one of those is episode 13.
Mystery at the lighthouse!
The iconic episode gave us the giant Dragonite, one of the most unique interpretations of any Pokemon in the anime. For years, the only episode with Dragonite, he was portrayed as an elusive, towering, undocumented Pokemon, shrouded in mystery and truly giving off the legendary air that a lot of legendary Pokemon can't even come close to imitating. It made actually catching a Dragonite that much more special, a Pokemon that not even Bill's ever seen, and this guy invented the internet for Christ's sake. Side note, why did they make Bill into a smug catboy in the anime? He's literally in a perpetual state of colon-thring. Look at him! But back to Dragonite. With my series on designing Paradox Pokemon, I felt presented with a perfect opportunity to pay homage to this classic episode. In this video, I'll be giving both a past and future Paradox form to... Ampharos! What? Paradox Dragonite? No Paradox Dragonite. What made you think that was gonna be what was in this episode? Did you not read the title? Stupid. So, let me actually explain the idea behind this design. I've actually received a few comments suggesting I draw a Paradox Ampharos, specifically a future one based off of a lighthouse. Since Ampharos is one of, if not my favorite Electric-type Pokemon, I've already been thinking of a few different ideas for Ampharos, both for this future Paradox as well as for a past Paradox. And I think me and this commenter both had the same scene in mind. Amphi at the top of Olivine City's Glitter Lighthouse. The initial connection between Ampharos and lighthouses was what brought the imagery of Mystery at the Lighthouse into my head. Specifically, I started to think about what this Dragonite's appearance was most likely based off of. Old sailors' tales. Stories of sirens were specifically what I thought of for this design. A mysterious song, or in this case, light, that appears to lost sailors, guiding them back to shore. The culmination of these concepts left me with a Pokemon that fully takes on the role of a lighthouse. A mysterious, elusive giant ripped from its own time, walking through the waves of the ocean, saving any sailors caught in rough waters with its light, while forever looking for another of its kind. Iron Lightkeeper, the Paradox Pokemon. Proof of this Pokemon's existence only exists in research notes left behind by the late Professor Turo. However, in recent months, several sailors have claimed to have been saved from rough, dark seas by an illusory lighthouse shining its light from beyond thick fog, with sailors who managed to glimpse beyond the fogs describing a silhouette similar to the sketches taken by Turo. Curiously, Turo's documents suggest this Pokemon's max height to have only reached around 6 feet, nowhere near the size of a lighthouse, casting doubt on these sightings. Here's our future Paradox Ampharos. I can't lie, I usually like the past Paradox Pokemon I design a lot more. I feel like there's a lot more room for unique, inspired designs with them, but honestly, Iron Lightkeeper is one of the favorite designs I've done in this series so far. I think it's opened my eyes to designing interesting future Pokemon. With all my previous designs having some sort of inspiration from an object or machine, I believe I was limiting myself to inspirations like these to keep with the more futuristic robotic theming most of these Pokemon have. Mixing the idea of an object, like a lighthouse, with a concept, in this case, tales of sirens as well as the giant Dragonite, is what's needed to make these designs truly interesting. I know that may sound really obvious in retrospect, but hey, I'm just a silly little guy on the internet. My brain only has like 2 gigabytes of RAM. You can't be surprised it took me this long to figure this out.
Want a break from the ads? If you tap now to watch a short video, you'll receive 30 minutes of ad-free music.
But hey, enough about Iron Lightkeeper. We have a past Paradox Pokemon I believe holds up just as strong. For my past Paradox Pokemon, my initial concept was to create something similar to the lines of Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant. Paradox forms which incorporated traits of their original's Mega forms. I wanted to create something that gave off a very soft and sleepy energy, turning the soft fleece from Mega Ampharos into a cloud it would lay upon. While I do really like this idea, you're probably thinking the exact same thing I was thinking looking at my art. This is literally just a sleeping Mega Ampharos. And you're right, so I scrapped it. I started over from a blank slate completely. I couldn't think of a satisfying way to actually incorporate a prehistoric look into Torpid Nimbus's design, so instead I tried to think about what actually could give Ampharos a prehistoric look, while still keeping design elements of Mega Ampharos, just not as the main focus. Mainly, I wanted to completely change the silhouette of Ampharos, giving it a more dinosaurian appearance to match the childlike idea of prehistory most of the Paradox Pokemon seem to push. My main body reference was the Carnotaurus, mainly because of the horns the thing has. I felt like they were a perfect parallel for Ampharos' big goofy bee abdomen ears. The gem on Ampharos' head and tail also felt right for exploration. I opted to change the smooth, circular gemstones into something more rigid and crystal-like, with protruding jagged rock sections spreading out along the back and tail of Ampharos. While subtle, I felt giving Ampharos a much more jagged and unrefined look to the usually perfectly smooth, round crystal would make the Pokemon look not only more intimidating, yet also give it a prehistoric feel as if it hadn't properly had enough time to evolve and refine these crystals, or properly use their electric properties to their fullest potential yet. Jagged Fleece, the Paradox Pokemon. While the crystals covering this Pokemon's body appear to be similar to the ones seen on Ampharos, the jagged, rough rocks are incapable of conducting a steady current. I'm much happier with Jagged Fleece than I would have been if I just tried to make Torpid Nimbus work. Sometimes starting over from scratch is the best move you can make when designing your own Pokemon, or any design for that matter. While it may be hard sometimes to start over once you put a lot of time into something, your effort's definitely rewarded in the end. At least mine was here. As I said earlier in the video, Ampharos is one of my favorite Pokemon. It was one of my original Heartgold goats, and I think I managed to do him justice. I bet my Ampharos is smiling down on me from white-saved heaven. Shock on, old buddy. Shock on. Once I had to sit down and actually model these guys, it took a while. Aside from writing the script and editing, this is usually the step that takes me the longest, and it was really difficult for me to build up the motivation to sit down and take the time to model and texture both of these guys right in the middle of my final exams. But hey, as of now, my semester's finally over, and with that, I may actually be able to focus on getting these models done and coded into my COBBLEMON data pack. The in-game showcases usually take way too long anyway, so I won't hold you up any longer. Let's see how Iron Lightkeeper and Jagged Fleece look in-game. Welcome back to Minecraft. This is everyone's favorite part of the video, right? Everyone loves this. This is everyone's favorite part. Let's see. We got our Pokemon in the PC waiting for us. We'll worry about this a little later, but first let's take a look at Iron Lightkeeper. Ampharos isn't modeled in, so we don't have anything to really compare it to, but here's Iron Lightkeeper in its full glory. I love the way this model looks. I love using, I used a block texture for its tail. I think it was a sea lantern? Yeah, that is a sea lantern. I think it really fits, like, the light that it's supposed to be really well. As well, it has emissive textures. Let me turn on shaders real quick. Look at that. Look how cool that looks. I love this Pokemon. Let's get the shiny out too. The blue looks so cool glowing. I really love this Pokemon. I would definitely use this on my team if I were playing. Let's look at Jagged Fleece now. Jagged Fleece doesn't have any emissive textures, but I'll keep the shaders on just because. Hello, Jagged Fleece. I thought about giving its crystals emissive textures, but I don't think it really fits. It's not supposed to be able to use the electricity in them properly yet, so I figured they can stay fine like this. I think it looks really cool, but look at this Pokemon. This thing looks so cool. I love the size of it and everything. Let's get the shiny out as well. Look at this. I honestly don't know which one I would use if I were playing COBBLEMON. It would be really tough because this looks so cool. Their types are really cool too. I will show off their types now. Iron Lightkeeper. Let's see. Oh, wrong button. H. So, with normal Jagged Fleece, it is a Dragon Rock type. It's got the Photosynthesis ability. Of course, it's a Paradox Pokemon. Iron Lightkeeper is an Electric Water. It's got Quark Drive. Of course, it's a Paradox Pokemon. Let's have a look at their movesets now as well. So, actually, I say let's have a look at their movesets, but I've started giving a lot of moves to these guys. I really want these to be viable in survival. So, I figure giving them a huge move pool certainly lets you choose what you want to use as a player. We can have a look at their stats as well, their base stats. So Jagged Fleece is a 95 HP, 60 special attack. However, it has 155 normal attack, 120 special defense, 80 defense, and 105 speed. This thing, I wouldn't say it's frail. I think this thing is a very good Pokemon. As I say every time, I am not too knowledgeable in the competitive scene, but I believe this would be what they call overpowered. This would probably be an Ubers. Here's Iron Lightkeeper, 145 HP, 130 special attack, 80 attack, 140 special defense, 100 defense, and 25 speed. I wanted this thing to be very bulky and able to give a very strong hit as well. So it has essentially no speed, but it's got a lot of attack, a lot of defense, and it can do massive damage with special attacks. So it won't just be able to take hits, it can deal them back too. I think we can look at this now. So I'll keep normal Iron Lightkeeper. I put him in the wrong spot. I'm a dumbass. I'll keep normal Iron Lightkeeper out, but as you can see, this Pokemon's only about probably 6 foot. But Iron Lightkeeper is supposed to be a lighthouse. Lighthouses are not usually 6 foot. I'm gonna turn off shaders for this. Let's have a look at Iron Lightkeeper. So this is the giant version. This is a very rare spawn. It looks a lot more muted than it should be. No, I think that's right. Let's have a look at this. This is so cool. This thing spawns in ocean biomes. So if you're ever out in the ocean, you might just come across this. I wonder if I could have met it, or yeah, I wonder if I could have set it so it only spawns while it's raining, actually. Because if it could only spawn during the rain, I think that would be awesome. But this is the normal Iron Lightkeeper. You can find this guy on beach biomes. Well, you can find the giant version, extremely rare. It is the rarest spawn in the data pack in the oceans. I'll get Jagged Fleece back out as well and say where that spawns. So here we have Jagged Fleece back, and Jagged Fleece spawns in the Plains biome. Very common biome. I usually set up shop in one of those, so if you are anything like me, you may actually come across these guys. So I've had a few people actually commenting, asking about how to get these Paradox Pokemon. I don't know if you guys are confused on how to get them in-game or how to install the data pack. To be honest, I've asked people what exactly their issue is, and no one has responded to me. So they're very rare spawns. If you feel like you're doing something wrong, you're not. It's just very unlikely for these guys to spawn. I did not want them to be too easy to get, because they're all very powerful and supposed to be very rare in lore. So if you feel like you've been putting a lot of time into trying to find one, it's maybe just luck. So if you guys do think you would like a full tutorial on how to install the data pack though, feel free to let me know. Honestly, I'm not sure exactly which step people are struggling on, so if you're having any issues yourself, just feel free to let me know down in the comments. But I think I got through I think I got through the Minecraft section very quick this time. I feel like this is not how it usually goes. We're on Minecraft for like 10 minutes. But I'll send it back over to outro me. Get outro me to do some funny outro or something. Goodbye. I want to give a few thoughts on some things that couldn't really fit anywhere else in the flow of this video. That being the shiny colors I chose for these Pokemon. I've never really conformed to the Future Paradox Pokemon just having pure chrome shinies. Especially since I just caught my shiny Iron Moth, and it's so disappointing compared to my beloved Slitherwing. But even aside from that, I've usually used shiny colors associated with the original Pokemon. But I think from here on I'd like to give each Paradox Pokemon unique shiny colors, completely separate from their original appearance. If you're on board with this idea, let me know down in the comments. Or if you think I should stick with the traditional color schemes, feel free to voice your thoughts on that as well. Thoughts and criticism is always appreciated here. With that said, Catboy Bill. Ciao!